Hi, this is Kathy Quinn with Floriani, and I want to welcome you to today's construction portion of our lace shaping in the hoop. First, I want you to take your tea towel and I want you to starch it and press it. Then go ahead and mark the center where the center of your lace shaping diamond is going to be with your monogram. Now we're going to cut a piece of wet and gone tacky larger than our hoop. We're going to peel off the paper and you're going to stick it to the back of your tea towel. You notice here in the illustration it's stuck down nice and flat, and you see that there is a little edge sticking out on either side. That is so when we put the top piece on we can adhere it to that. Now cut a second piece of wet and gone tacky, placing it on top of your tea towel. Now we want it paper side up. We're going to lay it on top, and you'll notice in this illustration that it is stuck down to that little edge that we've left on either side of our tea towel. Now we are going to hoop all three pieces. We'll have our tea towel with the wet and gone tacky adhered to the back of it. Then we'll have a piece of wet and gone tacky on the top, paper side up. Now we're going to place this on the machine, push our button, and stitch out our placement lines. We are going to stitch right through the topping paper of the wet and gone tacky. Once we have completed that, we're going to remove the wet and gone tacky paper, just the paper side. We're going to peel it away from the entire inside of the hoop. So now we have a completely tacky surface to use to stick our lace shaping down to. Now we're going to start the lace shaping, and what I want you to do is you're going to line the lace up, the insertion lace, right in between those lines, and your header will actually stick down right on top of those two lines of stitching that we have. And as you can see, the lace header is just the little edge that's a little bit heavier on either side of the pieces of the lace. Now leave a tail at the beginning, and as we go around we are going to miter the corners. And as you can see, to miter we will stick the lace all the way up to the edge of the placement lines, fold the lace back on itself, stick it down, and now you are going to turn that lace at a 45-degree angle and continue to stick it down as we go around. And you can see in these two illustrations how we are mitering that lace. Make sure to pull your lace so that your mitered corner is perfect, but it will adhere to the wet and gone tacky, making it extremely easy to shape. Once you have shaped your three corners, we are going to come down to where we started. Now I have used some bias binding because it's easier for you to see the process than using the lace. So as you can see, I have stuck it down, mitered my corners. Now you will see that I have got the right side overlapping the left. It is on top. Now we are going to take that piece of lace and we are going to actually turn it underneath itself, as you can see I'm doing in this illustration, so that you are mitering that corner as well. And now you notice we will lay those ends along right exactly on top of each other. So you can see how this folds, and you make sure you've got a perfect miter because you will lay those two ends right on top of itself. Now once that is stuck down, you will go ahead and trim it off even with the edge of the lace. Now we will put this back on our machine. Go ahead, push your button. It will do the little zigzag that we created, and it will catch that header and stitch that lace down. Then it will go ahead and embroider out your monogram, and then we will remove it from the machine. Now I want you to remove your wet and gone tacky, trim it right next to your lace on the top. Turning your towel over, we're going to do the same on the back. Now I've pulled that up as much as I can and trimmed around it. Now we're going to trim out the fabric from behind the insertion lace. You'll notice having that layer of wet and gone tacky in between the lace and the fabric will help us not to cut through our lace. Be very careful not to cut through your lace. And we are going to trim away the fabric in between the lines that have tacked our lace down. And you'll see here that I'm trimming it away, and I've trimmed it away completely, and trim right next to but not through those zigzag stitches. Once we've done that, I want you to go to your machine. I want you to set it at a 1.5 width, a 2 length, and on all 4 of those mitered corners we're just going to do a very small zigzag. In fact, you could actually put your width as small as 1.2 depending on how easy it is for your machine to adjust that. But go ahead and zigzag it down on the top. Then you'll come and turn on the back, and you'll fold up where you've mitered that corner and trim that away as well. So now we have completed our tea towel. I hope you've enjoyed lace shaping in the hoop. It's far easier than the 100 pins and the pressing board. This works very well with bias strips. So just think, you could make bias strips as wide as you want or as narrow as you want, and you can create any design. Do a beautiful table runner, some placemats on the front of a little girl's dress with maybe some spaghetti bias by using lace shaping in the hoop to go ahead and adhere everything down to your Wet and Gone Tacky, making it very easy. And bias strips will make a beautiful curve and turn corners very easily. So think about some gift ideas for the holidays maybe coming up, or birthdays, or just as a nice gift for some of your friends. And I want to thank you very much for attending this month's Project of the Month. I hope you've enjoyed.